7 weather with meteorologist Vivian Gonzalez.
And good morning, South Florida. We're waking up to partly cloudy skies and the weather overall quiet out there, and we will expect another dry day across the region with some slight changes to close out the week. And here's a look at temperatures to get you out the door. 74 at Fort Lauderdale Executive, 75 in Fort Lauderdale International, 76 in Hollywood. And then as we take a tour around Miami-Dade, Hialeah at 70, 70 in Kendall, and for you in Homestead sitting at 74 degrees. And in the Florida Keys, temperature readings here in the mid to upper 70s. We have 76 in Key Largo, Big Pine Key, including Marathon. The wind still persistent out of the east, and anytime we have this flow, rip current risk will be elevated at area beaches, and these winds will still be breezy at times. Right now sustained between 10 to even 13 miles per hour. Our forecast still dominated by a distant area of high pressure, so there's a dry condition still in place across the region. We're going to be monitoring this little bank of moisture located near Puerto Rico, and if that moisture holds approaching the Bahamas tomorrow, some of that moisture could actually sneak in around the base of high pressure. So maybe a couple showers, especially by the Florida Keys and Straits heading into Friday. Maybe a quick moving shower, but we are definitely going to have a drier air filtering in, setting up shop for an even warmer weekend. Now, here's a look at our 7-day rain trend. It'll be generally quiet again tomorrow. We bumped that chance to a 30%, but it should stay mostly dry through the upcoming weekend. Your boating forecast right now looks okay. East winds 5 to 15 knots, seas building 2 to 3 feet. Biscayne Bay will be at a light chop. Florida Keys, moderate chop. No advisories for small craft operators here. With the next tide cycle, that's going to be high tide coming up very soon in Key West at 7:31. So for today, a bit more sunshine. Typical temperatures in the low 80s, 83s, the forecast high in Key West and Fort Lauderdale, 84 for Miami. Then moving into tonight, passing clouds, it should stay warm and quiet in the low to mid 70s. Your extended outlook does call for maybe a spotty, isolated shower for southern areas between Thursday and Friday, but looking nice, dry, much warmer for the weekend with a high of 86 above average on Sunday. And that's your 7-on-7 forecast. Good morning, South Florida. We're waking up to a mix of sun and clouds. It looks nice outside with temperatures a tad warmer to start off. Right now, 76 in Key West, Pompano Beach and Pembroke Pines, 75 for you in Fort Lauderdale with the wind east-southeast 9 to 16 miles per hour and humidity at 71%. And here's a look at the local storm tracking radar. Mostly dry weather underway, and we are expecting it to remain this way for today and over the next few days, even though tomorrow there will be a little more moisture moving in. So here's what we can expect. We're following a bank of moisture located near Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and if it manages to hold, some of that moisture could sneak into parts of the streets of Florida and the Keys. Heading into tomorrow, it'll be isolated in nature. Rest of the area will be mostly dry, but high pressure is set to build back into this through the weekend, and that means it'll gain full control. So drier air starts to settle in Saturday and Sunday, and that means that we will be having a wonderful weekend for any sort of outdoor activities. However, it's going to be trending warmer with high temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, especially on Sunday. Your boating forecast looks okay. No advisories for small craft operators, but there is a high risk of rip currents at area beaches. So if you're not an experienced swimmer, just make sure that you are swimming at a guarded beach. Anytime we have a persistent onshore flow, you can bet to see rip currents out there. Seas building 2 to 3 feet. For the Florida Keys, beyond the reef, building 3 to 6 feet. Coastal waters here are at a moderate chop, but there are no advisories for boaters. Now the next tide cycle, that is going to be low tide at 11:05 in Fort Lauderdale, 11:14 for you in Miami. So So for today, look for a bit more sunshine. Typical temperatures in the 80s, anywhere between 83 and 84 degrees. We move on into tonight. We'll have some passing clouds. It should stay warm and quiet in the low to mid 70s. So tomorrow, especially around southern areas, there's a chance of seeing an isolated shower. Very spotty, quick moving on Friday with a building breeze. Over the weekend, it should be nice, just warmer on Sunday. And that's your 7 on 7 forecast.
Liz is live in the flex with your first forecast. Viv, you came for a second day.
I did. and it was so good to get home yesterday to Evan and Emma, and now back at it a second day in South Florida. So hopefully everyone's off to a great start. Thank you for starting your day with us. And it will remain quiet and mostly dry, but yes, a hair warmer and more humid. Tomorrow, there's the possibility, though, of actually seeing an isolated shower. Right now, it is 78 degrees in Pompano Beach, 76 in Fort Lauderdale, Miami, 74 in Kendall to 76 in Homestead. And as we take a tour into the Florida Keys, upper 70s here, 77 in Marathon, 78 degrees in Key West. Our onshore flow continues, and this means rip currents will be in the forecast pretty much all week long. Winds sustained between 10 to 17 miles per hour. Satellite imagery showing it's nice out there. No rain to talk about with your day planner, calling for temperatures to climb into the low 80s, and we're going with 84 as your forecast high. Your complete outlook coming up in 15 minutes.